It's a Thursday in Rockford, Illinois. You're 44. You're standing at the back of a banquet hall while 300 people applaud a man on a stage. He's accepting an award for a decision you made. He doesn't know that. Neither do they. You have $500 million. Your name is on nothing, anywhere that also has the money on it. Nobody in your life knows. Not your wife, not your mother, not the man at the podium. You built it this way, on purpose. The reason is older than the money. To understand why you chose to disappear, you have to go back to the year your father's name was the most famous thing in town. You're 8. It's 1990, Rockford, Illinois, a city that builds things for other cities and gets none of the credit. For a few years, your father is the exception. For a few years, your father is somebody. His name is Ray. His name is on a building, white letters, 10 feet up, over a contracting yard on Kishwaukee Street. Ray Halverson and Son. You are the son. You are 8 years old, and your name is already on a building, and you think that is the best thing that can ever happen to a person. Ray thinks so too. He shakes hands at church like a man running for office. People say his name when he isn't in the room, and you learn early that this is the real measure of being somebody. Your name doing work in places you aren't. Then there's a development on the east side, a big one. The bank wants a name on the loan, not a company. A person, a real one, someone who will stand behind it if it goes wrong. Ray signs. Of course Ray signs. His name is the best thing he owns. The development goes wrong. It isn't even his fault. A partner walks. The rates move. The thing that was going to make him becomes the thing with his name on it. And a name is the easiest thing in the world to find. The paper runs his face. Not the partner's, not the bank's, his. Halverson, over a photo of a half-built nothing. And beneath it, the number he owes, printed in a way that makes the whole town do the math at breakfast. The letters come off the building on a Tuesday. A man with a ladder takes down "and son" first, because he starts from the right. You stand across the street and watch your own name come down before your father's. After that, Ray is still somebody. He's just somebody in the other way now. The name people say to mean a warning. He spends the rest of his life being recognized. That's the part nobody tells you about being a name. It works the same whether they love you or not. It only keeps you findable. You're 8. You don't have the words yet, but you have the feeling, and the feeling hardens into a rule you will obey for 30 years. The man on the sign is the man who gets hurt. So you decide, without telling a single soul, that you will never be the man on the sign. It takes 11 years to learn the other half of that rule, that the man who stays off the sign can take everything and never once be asked to give it back. You're 19. It's 2001. You're not at a good school. You're in the back office of a commodities brokerage in Chicago because you can do arithmetic faster than men who went to better schools, and because you don't talk much, which everyone reads as discipline, and which is really just watching. You watch how a decision moves through a building. That's the thing you turn out to be good at, not the trade, the path. You notice that the person who decides a thing and the person who is seen deciding it are almost never the same person. One man has the idea. A different man says it in the meeting. The second man gets the office. For a while, you think that's a tragedy. Then you understand. It's a door. Here is the first time you walk through it. You're 23. You catch something in a column of numbers, a supplier about to fail, a contract quietly worth nothing, a position the firm is about to lose badly on. You could carry it into your manager's office with your name on it, the careful kid, the one who saw it first. You don't. You hand it to him like it's nothing. You let him walk it upstairs as his own. You watch him say your work in a glass room. Watch the partners nod. Watch him collect the thing, the title, the raise, the hand on the shoulder. And you feel something you did not expect to feel. You feel safe. He's the name on it now. If it had been wrong, it would have been his face in the room. But it wasn't wrong. It was right. And the man it quietly made money in a way nobody would ever trace was you, through an account 3 states away, under an arrangement no one would think to look at. He got the room. You got the money. You decide at 23 that you will take that trade every time it is offered for the rest of your life. So you start doing it on purpose. You find men who want to be seen. They're everywhere. The easiest resource on earth to source. You give them the idea and let them keep the credit. You ask for nothing but the part no one is watching, the position, the percentage, the quiet end of the deal. They think you're doing them a favor. Some of them feel sorry for you, the man with no ambition. You let them. Being underestimated is just being invisible with a story attached. By the time you're 30, there are 4 men in 3 cities who believe they employ you. Not one of them knows the others exist. All of them are working for a man whose name is on nothing, the hand, not the face. You have found the shape of your whole life. It takes one more thing to turn a habit into $500 million. It takes a man willing to be your face in public for the rest of his life. His name is Mercer. You're 34. You meet Mercer at a thing you almost didn't go to. He's the most visible man in any room he walks into. Tall, easy, a laugh you can hear through a wall. He remembers names. He touches elbows. People believe him before he's finished the sentence. He's everything your father was for those few good years, except Mercer was born already knowing how to land it. He's also, quietly, broke in the way charming men are broke. Good at being wanted, bad at being paid. You don't offer him a job. You offer him a life. You'll put up the money. He'll put up the face. There will be a fund with his name on the glass. Mercer Holdings. His photograph in the annual letter. His voice on the calls. His hand on every shoulder that needs shaking. He'll go to the dinners. He'll take the meetings. He'll be the man the money belongs to. In every single place a person can be seen belonging to money. And you'll be what the paperwork calls an advisor. A consultant. A name 3 layers down a trust that points at another trust, that points at a firm in a state with kind laws. Mercer thinks he hired you. That's the arrangement. That's always the arrangement. It works better than even you expected. Money likes a face. People want to hand their fortune to a man they can picture. A man who looks like trust. And Mercer looks like trust the way some men look like their fathers. The fund grows. You move it. Quietly, precisely. The way you've moved everything since you were 23. A position here, a company there, a plant that lives because you decided it should, a competitor that doesn't because you decided that too. Mercer says yes to all of it in public. He understands maybe half. He doesn't need to understand it. He isn't the hand. He's the face. By the time you're 40, there is $500 million sitting under your decision. And not one document in the world that puts your name and that number in the same sentence. You did it. The 8-year-old who watched Ann's son come off the building got exactly what he swore he would get. You are the most powerful man nobody has ever heard of. You think that's the same thing as being safe. You learn it isn't the same thing. The day your money saves an entire town, and the town builds a monument to the wrong man. Then Mercer flies out for the ribbon. You watch it from the parking lot. There's a podium. There's the mayor. There's a banner with the fund's name, which is Mercer's name. The mayor says that name like a prayer. He says, "This man saved our town." Mercer, who could not have found the mill on a map a month ago, puts his hand on his heart. 900 families worth of people rise to their feet. They're going to name the footbridge after him. There's going to be a plaque. You stand by your car with the coffee going cold, and you watch the people you saved love a man who didn't save them. And it isn't jealousy. That's the part that surprises you. You don't want the podium. The podium is the sign, and the sign is the thing that gets hurt. You've known that since you were 8. What you feel is something that doesn't have a name yet. You just did the most important thing you have ever done. You changed 900 lives. And there is no version of this moment, none, where you get to stand inside it as the man who did it. You're not at the podium. You're not in the crowd. You're in the parking lot, which is the only place a man like you is ever allowed to stand. Close enough to see it, never inside it. That's the night you finally understand the shape of the trade you made. Your father put his name on everything, and it destroyed him. You put your name on nothing, and it worked. And the working is its own kind of destruction, just slower and quieter and impossible to photograph. Power and presence are not the same thing. They might even be opposites. You spent 20 years collecting one by giving away the other on purpose every day. And there's no one you can tell, not even the woman who sleeps beside you, especially not the woman who sleeps beside you. because she fell in love with the smallest version of you that has ever existed, and you let her. You're 43. Her name is Claire. You've been married 11 years. She tends the part of your life you let her see, a small life, carefully kept, and she's happy in it, and you love her, and she does not know you at all. She thinks you consult for a fund. That's the phrase you use. You consult for a fund. It's modest enough to end a conversation, and true enough that you never have to remember a lie. She thinks you make a decent living. She thinks the man across the table is a careful, mid-level, slightly boring man who's good with numbers and bad at being noticed. She isn't wrong about the man she can see. That man is real. You built him on purpose, the same way you built Mercer. A face for the public, a smaller face for the kitchen, and the actual person standing nowhere either one of them can be found. She clips coupons you could paper a city with. She worries out loud on a Sunday about whether you can afford to redo the bathroom. You sit there with $500 million resting somewhere behind 11 legal walls, and you say, let's wait till next year, because next year is what a careful, mid-level man says. Last spring, she got a small raise at the clinic where she works, $80 a week. She told you over dinner with her whole face lit up. That same afternoon, you had moved $50 million between two positions before lunch and felt nothing at all. You looked at her being proud of $80, and you wanted, more than you've wanted anything in years, to tell her what you are. You didn't. You can't. The secret isn't a thing you keep from her. The secret is the wall the whole structure leans on. To be known by one person is to be findable. And findable is the thing you swore at 8 years old you would never be again. So you let her love the smaller man. You let her stay married to the consultant. You become, in your own home, the front for your own life. You got so good at staying off the sign that you erased yourself from your own marriage in every way that wasn't on the paper. There's one night left in this story. It's the night from the very beginning. The banquet, the applause, the award with your decision on it and another man's name under it. You're 44. The banquet is for Mercer. 30 years of it. They're handing him a lifetime award, a heavy glass thing, a slideshow, a room full of people who run things, on their feet for the man they believe built all of it. The mill town is in the slideshow. So is every good thing you ever did with the money. His face is on all of it. He earned that face. He showed up to every podium you ever sent him to for 30 years. He gives a good speech. Mercer always gives a good speech. He thanks people. He gets choked up at the part about legacy. He says, none of this was ever really about me. He has no idea how true that is. You stand at the back, near the doors, holding a drink you won't finish. Nobody looks at you. Nobody has ever looked at you. That was the whole design. It worked completely. For 40 years. You think about your father, Ray, who put his name 10 feet up over Kishwaukee Street and spent the rest of his life being recognized for the worst day of it. You spent your whole life making sure that would never be you, making sure your name would never be the one that got hurt. You succeeded. Your name was never anywhere at all. The room rises for Mercer. 500 people on their feet. You could end any career among them in an afternoon, and not one of them would ever learn your face. You hold all the power a man can hold, and you are the only person in this room who isn't really in it. The applause keeps going. You set your drink down on a passing tray. You leave before the lights come up, the same way you came in. Nobody marks the door. Outside, it's cold. Your name is on nothing. The money is safe. You are not the man who got hurt. You're just not the man at all. Somewhere right now, there's a boy reading his father's name in a newspaper under the worst headline it will ever wear. He's deciding, quietly, that the safest thing a man can be is no one. He thinks disappearing is the same as being safe. He'll spend a long time finding out they were never the same thing. The applause goes to someone. It always does.